It is freezing. We're back in the woodshed because it's just so windy out, and we've had some bizarre weather, guys. We had 2 days of just driving rain, and then as soon as you can blink an eye, we're into single digits, and this wind is just killing me. We had a bunch of flooding. A lot of our roads were closed yesterday because of the high water. There were some on-ramps to Interstate 80 that were closed. It's just been a bad weather day. And I don't have any deliveries, and what I am doing is, right now I'm feeding the furnace, and I got to empty the ash. But I got some problems here, guys. I mean, I'm in the woodshed, but we can just call this the shed. I'm practically out of wood. I have a task that I'm going to do today. I have a bunch of offcuts that are on the other side of the yard, and just in between snowstorms, I'm getting out the super splitter. We're going to cut up some wood. I can leave it big because it's for the outdoor wood boiler, and I'm just going to build this up while I can. We have had such heavy snow that all of the other areas where I had wood to bring it into the furnace, I couldn't get to them. Well, that heavy snow's gone. So what we got back right now is some light stuff. I'm able to walk across it and push that super splitter across it. And that's what I'm going to get done today. But I'm going to be splitting out in this wind. So I'm going to try and find a windbreak out here where the logs are back on the other side. And the ground is still kind of soft, even though it's been real cold. I am just going to wheelbarrow the wood over here and just dump it in. Good heavens, is it nasty out. So I gotta empty the ash. It is getting deep. I empty it about once a week, and I try to not empty it during big wind because I'm always worried about an ember being blown into my wood pile. I think that's not gonna happen today. So I'm just going to take out one bucket full and smooth everything else down. I had a lot of comments when my truck was stuck in the snow about using wood ash. So that last time it was stuck, I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. It didn't work. Wood ash, though, I guess is good for your gardens. What I do is I just dump it out in the yard. So let's go do that now. Oh, the wind chill out here is awful. All right, I need to put some logs in this furnace, and then we'll get out the super splitter and we'll do some splitting. Here we go. When you open up this bottom door, it lets all the air flow through and it stokes up the fire. When I leave to go dump the ash, I close everything up. You know, you run the risk of your furnace overheating. And then there was one time I just went straight to the house after I emptied the ash, and I left the bottom door open and the furnace overheated and boiled over. So we will just throw in some logs. These are those elm logs. For you guys who've been around for a while, you know about my elm tree that fell over. So I have been heating my house with it this winter. And no, I did not split these, although I think the super splitter is up to the task. Okay, we got the furnace loaded up good enough for now. I got the furnace all loaded up for the day. I'll have to come back later tonight and refill it. But now, let's get the super splitter out. We are going to push it up by the pile of logs that I have ready to come into here, and we'll get that done. Here we go, guys. It is super cold out. It's low teens, and man, the wind is killing me. My face is numb. I just wanted to show you real quick. I still use these gloves in the wintertime. I love these rubber dipped ones. I still use the ones from Harbor Freight. I think they're more grippy than these, but man, these last a long time. But they're not warm enough in the wintertime. My fingers get cold, and I've come up with a deal here. I'll just show you what I do. I bought these knit gloves from Harbor Freight, and I put them on. I learned this because I ordered the wrong size glove. These are just too big for my hands. Well, what I've done is I put them together like this, and I just work these on. It takes a while to get them down, the fingers shoved up into them pretty far. But the bottom line, you're left with a really nice padded glove, and it keeps your fingers warm, and they come on and off real easy. So just something you can try. I have these are called Showas. They're Atlas model, and I have them on my Amazon link if you want to try them out. They work really nice. They're tough, and they last a long time, and they're pretty grippy. Not as grippy as Harbor Freight, but man, they last a lot longer. All right, guys, let's get going. Did I mention I own the greatest wheelbarrow in the world? It is the A.M. Leonard. Great wheelbarrow. They will mail it right to your house. And it started right up with this cold weather. Guys, the super splitter did not start right up. I had to take off the air cleaner and shoot it up with ether, and it didn't want to run at first. But it's running now. And I'm just going to be splitting these big rounds into chunks, getting them into the woodshed. Here we go. I have said before that the super splitter doesn't like being used in the rain. Snow's the same thing. You got to keep the top beam clean, and if water gets on here, ice starts forming and it'll freeze up that bearing. So you're going to see me keeping this top beam clean as I split. I have oak, maple, and I think that's it in this pile. It'll be one or the other. To get the wheelbarrow too heavy. I think it's going to sink in the ground. So I'm just going to dump, come back, and keep splitting. The ground is pretty firm. The ground is pretty firm, guys. So I think I can get my wheelbarrow loaded more. And I am just getting all this wood put in here so that we'll be ready to go into the furnace later this winter. Here we go. wondering, why am I not just splitting everything at once and then wheelbarrowing it over? I have a reason. It is because I don't want to do it that way. I know myself. And if I wind up with a big pile of split wood over there, it's probably going to stay there. So I'm stacking as I split. On top of everything else is keeping the, on top of everything else, it's giving me a break from that wind because the left side of my face is going numb. All right, guys, keeping it going. Here's a crooked one, guys. When I was making up my mind to start OWB, part of my thought process was I can't lose. Because if I didn't sell a single stick of firewood, I could burn it myself. And in this case here, I still get loads that come in, like the logs covered in mushrooms, like most of this oak was. The maple was punky, so I'm not going to sell it. But that doesn't mean it's going to waste, because it'll go right into my furnace, and that way I can still keep my woodshed full without taking away any of the labor to my business. Continuing on. Twisted grain, super splitter goes through it. You just gotta hit it a couple more times. Would have been a day that I would not be doing anything. My plan was to have all this wood split about a month ago, but those two storms came and everything's under 2 feet of snow, so that's off the table for a while. It is just now I'm able to see these logs again, and I'm just getting a chance now. I don't have any delivery scheduled. I can get this wood done, and I can cross that off my list. Okay, I had told you before, the super splitter does not like running in cold weather, and man, it's freezing. The snow has turned to ice on the table, and I'm hearing one of my bearings underneath starting to squeal, and I'm afraid that some moisture got on it and it's got ice, and I don't want to flat spot anything. I think that's one of the limitations to a kinetic splitter. This wind's hit me right in the face. They don't like bad weather to run in. Well, if you're considering the long-term health of your machine, maybe don't run it in bad weather. What I forgot to tell you, my original plan was, before all the snow came, the ground was frozen, was to bring the axis out here and park it, and I would be splitting everything here. But, you know, like I said, once that snow came, everything changed, and that axis is heavy. And right now this ground's pretty soft. I'm sure it would get stuck somewhere. So I can still get this little thing out here and get some splitting done. And let's get this in the shed, and we're gonna finish up for the day, because I want to be able to feel the left side of my face here by the time this is done. Oh boy. All right. You hear here's some of that oak, you know, it's got all this mushrooms on it. And this is great firewood, but value added firewood, you don't sell this kind of stuff. And but it's not going to go to waste. It'll be going into our furnace here pretty soon. I am pretty cold. Even with all that moving, that wind's just ripping right through me. My hands though are pretty warm. I'm serious. The way that I did these gloves, it actually works. Give it a try if you haven't tried something like that. And of course my feet are warm as toast because I got my Thorogood boots on. Guys, these things are really nice. Gee whiz. And they came in big like a couple days ago. I'm serious. It was, you know, we had 2 feet of snow on the ground, and then it just poured like a monsoon, and just everything was flooded. I don't think our ground could have gotten any more saturated than it did. What you're looking at though, guys, is how really I begin and end my day, is here in the woodshed and feeding the furnace. I check it after my morning coffee and fill it up. I'll come out here midday if I'm over this way, and then right before I go to bed, I'm out here making sure it's full and you know, it's going to burn good and not go out in the middle of the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope the wind didn't bother you that much. There was nothing we could do about this. Gee whiz. We set up high on a ridge here, and the wind just cuts right through these open fields. If you liked it though, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I hope everyone has a great day.